The Adventure Zone is probably my favourite podcast. It was not only pretty much the first podcast I ever listened to, but also was the thing that introduced me to Dungeons and Dragons, which to this day I'm still very interested in. I started listening just around the time that Balance, which was the first story of the show, was finishing, and I think I caught up just in time for the last episode to air, which is one of my proudest achievements. And the fourth Ethersea has just started within the last couple of weeks. So today I thought, because I love ranking characters, I love ranking lists, I love anything to do with lists, which sounds like a joke, but it's really not. I really just like to organise my thoughts in numbered lists, that I would do a tier ranking of all of the TAZ Balance characters, because Balance to me is still my favourite one. I like the others, but there's something about Balance, I just think it's the best one. I think it's a great story overall, and I pretty much love all the characters, so I thought that it would be fun to rank them, because probably all of them are going to be very high up. Without more talking, let's just start ranking them then. So I basically went on Tier Maker again and just typed in TAZ Balance characters, and this was the first one that came up. It's by Empress. I've decided that since I pretty much love every character so much, I can't just put them all in God tier and epic. So rad and mediocre probably will have become higher ranks than they probably should be, just so that I can separate them all out a bit more. But let's start with my favourite character, Angus Mcdonald, Boy Detective. Angus, no question, goes into God tier because he is my favourite character in the show. He's so funny. I love his relationship with all of the characters. I think it's really nice. He has a really unique relationship. Like, Merle's kind of his like grouchy uncle that hates him, and Magnus is sort of like his adopted dad, I guess. And then Taco's like his uncle that says he hates him but actually does really like him. And I just love Angus. He's so funny. Any scene he's in is comedic gold. And we have Avi next. Now, Avi isn't in it much. He's technically a minor character, but I have a really soft spot in my heart for Avi. So I'm going to put him in Rad, because he's really probably one of the lesser used characters, but he still has a really interesting personality, and I really enjoyed him. I think this next one is maybe Mookie, who's Merle's son. I don't know, mediocre. I think this next one is Roswell, and I really like Roswell. I actually used to really not like the 11th hour. It used to be my least favourite arc, and then I re-listened to it and I realised it was actually really great, and so it went from my least favourite to like probably top 4 arcs of Balance. So I don't know, Rad below Avi. Magic Brian is really great. I actually, from the first arc, wasn't that interested in Balance at all. I mostly just kept listening because I knew it was ending soon and it was trending non-stop on Tumblr back in the day, and I thought that if people loved it so much that there must be a reason, so I would just keep listening to it till at least the second arc. But Brian really was the saviour of Balance for me. So Brian's gonna go in epic because, you know, a German evil wizard who's obsessed with spiders and has like this beautiful dying monologue really can't go anywhere below epic. I was about to say, is this Killian? But I don't think it is, because I think Killian is this green lady at the end. So is this the guy from HR? Because if it is, he has to go in epic. I absolutely love that live show. That's one of my favourite TAZ live shows. It's so funny whenever they go on the retreat. I think this is the Juicy Wizard. I don't really have much to say. So he's going in awful, but he's not a bad character. It's just because like he's doesn't mean much to me. But this might be Julia. And if it is Julia, then Julia has to go straight up into Rad. Because once again, she isn't in it much, but like I just love her story, I love her impact on Magnus, the ending was super cute, so she has to go into Rad. I think this is Barry, and I love Barry. Like, genuinely, I had forgotten who Barry Bluejeans was by the time it came up later in arcs that people were going on the Jumbotrons asking for Barry to come back. I was like, who's Barry? But I love Barry whenever he does come back, so I'm gonna put Barry in epic. Cassidy was fun, but like not my favourite, so I'm gonna put her in mediocre. Edward, once again, fun, fantastic. The Suffering Game used to be my favourite arc, but Edward honestly doesn't do as much as Lydia, so I'm gonna put Edward like at the top of Rad, and Lydia will probably go higher. I do believe that these next people are Hurley and Sloane, and I love the fact that they are paired together because they do deserve to be paired together. I would say that Petals to the Metal now is probably my least favourite arc just because it goes on a little bit too long, but Hurley and Sloane, they're a really cute relationship. I'll put them in Rad. Who's this? Boyland? Is this Boyland? I don't know, mediocre. Boyland was funny, but it was more everyone else jokes about Boyland that was funny. And we have Clark. I do enjoy Clark quite a bit. Bottom of epic. Garfield the Deals Warlock, honestly, is such a good character. I love the fact that Griffin just never gave him an appearance and people just went, oh, so it's Garfield the lasagna cat but with like a wizard hat and he works at Fantasy Costco. Also brought one of the best songs in the series, and Garfield is really funny in pretty much any situation he's in, so I'm gonna have to put Garfield at the top of epic probably. Garrel is obviously Taco's fantasy binacorn. I do enjoy Garrel and his attitude. Probably put him just before Clark because he's got a little bit more stage presence than Clark does sometimes, you know what I mean. Kerry is really cute. I love the fact that Kerry is Magnus's best friend, that she likes to fight, her relationship with Killian's really cute. So I'm gonna have to put her probably just before Garrel but below Barry. And also I'll move this guy down. I like Jenkins because his attitude reminds me of pretty much any retail worker that has been stuck on the job for a large amount of time and isn't getting paid enough to be there. I like that all the people just make fun of him the whole time, and as a villain he wasn't that intimidating, but like he got stuff done, I suppose, so I'm probably gonna put him I put him under Edward because Edward has like this flair that I really enjoyed. That's really something that Jenkins just can't beat, even with the sparkly tie, so I'll have to put him below there. Jess the Beheader, she was fine, but like didn't really do that much. I'll put her in mediocre. John was really interesting as a character and a villain. I actually really enjoyed watching him interact with Merle a lot of the time. I enjoyed his whole story, so actually, even though necessarily I wouldn't be like, oh, John's my favourite character, I'm gonna have to put him in epic, even though like I wouldn't say that he has like the flair that I like in a character, but just his story was so good that I have to put him there. Oh, Johan. Johan, this is controversial, right? I know everyone loves Johan, but I'm gonna put Johan in God tier. I loved Johan to begin with because once again he was just like depressed and didn't want to be there, and he was very relatable, but then like his whole story and the ending was so emotional, and really it was just like so impactful that like years later I still think of Johan a lot more than I would maybe think of the more modern characters, so I feel like Johan just has to go at the top. June was cute, but like didn't do much, so I'll put her like at the bottom of Rad. I think this is Julia, so who was the other person that I put up there? I'm trying to figure out who that is, but I genuinely can't. So I don't know who that is, so I'll take that off. And then this is Julia, so Julia will go. We have Kravitz. I really like Kravitz. I think Kravitz and Taco are cute. I think Kravitz as a character is very interesting. I wish we got a little bit more time with him, but like I like the fact that he just does like a Cockney accent for no reason on the job, and it's definitely not because Griffin can't do a Cockney accent. It was definitely part of the character. So I'm gonna have to put Kravitz like at the very top of epic, but like if we got in a couple more episodes focusing on him, he probably would have been in God tier. That's Boyland, so who did I put up there? Just take that person out. Boyland, mediocre. Wait, no, that's Sloane. But that looks like Sloane. Who's that? Oh, is that the Raven Queen and the Goddess of Time, maybe? They should be up there too, the Raven Queen and the Goddess of Time. Raven Queen, is she in the show at all? I think she's just mentioned, but the Goddess of Time is really cool, so I'll leave them there anyway, and I'll put Sloane up there as well. Madam Director, Lucretia. I do love Lucretia, love the fact that they've just put the lesbian flag behind her. I do love that. Lucretia, she makes some bold choices, but she's in it a lot. You really understand her attitude, and she's quite likeable, so I'll put her below Barry, because like Barry and Kravitz are like way higher on the scale than I would put like Garfield and John and stuff, so I'll put her in the middle there, but she's still pretty epic. And then Loop goes straight into God tier, put her just below Angus. I love Loop. I was so excited whenever Loop like emerged I just think like she's so funny and she's exactly what Taco needed, like just as a character, to someone that was like just as crazy but also sort of gave him that emotional depth and like reliability. I really love Loop. I think she's so fun. And like I was just actually listening to the live show where they break into Greg Gamaldus's casino the other day, and honestly just anytime she's on screen it's guaranteed to be a hilarious situation. Lucas, I didn't really like Lucas. I'm gonna put him in awful, but like he's not the worst. Lydia is above Edward for sure. She does more, she talks more than Edward, and I feel like she got more stuff done than Edward. But like as a team, I'll put her at the bottom end of epic. Magnus is great. I like that he's just like this human fighter that has been dragged along for this ride basically, but he's so kind and loyal and caring and like a carpenter and a fighter, but like he has all these good jokes. So I'm gonna put Magnus probably at the very top of epic. And it's gonna sound like I don't like Magnus as much as I like Loop and Angus, who are in it way less than them, and that's not true. I think because Magnus was around so much, he became kind of like a staple in the whole show. So it wasn't like I got super attached because I was like, well, Magnus is always gonna be there. Whereas I got super attached to like Loop and Angus and Johan because they weren't always there. Mavis is really cute. She doesn't do like that much, but I'll put her like with Mookie. And then we have Merle, and Merle is also a great character, so kind, so caring, but also like has an attitude about it and doesn't really want to be there. Marvy was a funny joke, but like doesn't do that much. I'll put him at the end of mediocre. Paloma was really fun. I just love the fact that Griffin decided that it was basically just going to be Bjorn's accent. She was quite helpful, and once again I do like that arc quite a bit, but like I'll have to put her at the top of Rad. She doesn't do like that much, you know what I mean? The Voidfish as a character obviously does not speak, but also has a lot of personalities, kind of more personality than like some TV shows give other characters. So I'm gonna have to put the Voidfish like at the very end of epic because it's just like a really cute character, and also I love the way that it like connects with Magnus as well. Who is that? Oh, is that Ren? I think it might be Ren. It looks like a child, but I think it's just Ren drawn to be kind of cuter than what I thought her age would suggest. But if it is Ren, which I'm going to say it is, then I'll put Ren at the top of Rad because she's only in it for a couple of episodes, but I really like her. It's just that she hasn't been in it much. The Raven Queen and Istis are here as well, but I'm pretty sure I ranked them here, so I'm just going to leave them in the middle of Rad. And then we have Taco. Taco is probably my favourite of the trio, and that's saying a lot because I love all three members. Like, they all instantly go into Rad, but I think that Taco's probably the closest into going to God tier, just because, like, Justin does such a good job with all of his characters, like they all do, but Justin's really good at character creation and building. And there's something about Taco that just like has this vulnerability to him that I really enjoyed learning more about throughout the show as they got more and more serious about actually developing it as a story. And I love the fact that Taco can go between like haha fart fart and then also be like, here's my really emotional backstory and all my insecurities, and it's like, okay, Taco. So that's probably why Taco is my favourite. Should I put Taco in God tier? I'm gonna put Taco in God tier, just above Loop. It's probably tied because like I love Taco probably the most out of all the characters, to be honest, but like I have a real soft spot for Angus. Like, he's my favourite like minor character. I'll put Taco at the top. It doesn't want me to put Taco at the top. I can't put Taco at the top. Angus is at the top. Killian honestly doesn't do much, but he is an asshole, so you know what? That was made purely for Killian and all the bad stuff he did to Magnus specifically. Davenport is really hard to rank because for most of the show all he says is Davenport. So like as a fun joke character I probably would have put him like in Rad, pretty above average, but like not that much. But then the end came and all of a sudden Davenport like had this really emotional moment and like was developed as a proper character, and I really came to love Davenport as part of the team. So probably I'll put him somewhere in epic, maybe just below Lucretia. I really like Davenport. He's a really good captain, really good, nice leader, but like he's not my favourite of the whole squad. And finally we have Killian, and she is great. I love Killian. I love the fact that she's just ready to start fighting anyone. Her relationship with Kerry is really cute, and I will put her at the end of Epic. I would say out of all of the people that have slightly more of a story than like Avi in the Bureau of Balance, she is probably one of my least favourite, but that's saying something because I still love her character a lot, so it's pretty hard to judge. But this is my final list. We have my god tier ones. Taco would be at the top, but it just won't let me put him there. It just decided that Angus deserved that spot. But these are pretty much all of the characters I have like a deep emotional attachment to and really care about and would probably cry about if I had to. And it wouldn't even take that much convincing, you know. Epic boys, pretty much everyone should be in Epic, but because it's such a tough competition, I sort of had to separate them a bit more than that. But like at the very top, probably a step above everyone else, like in between God tier and Epic, we have Merle and Magnus. And then just below them we have all the characters that I love and could talk about for like a solid 30 minutes, but they're not like my favourite characters. And then we have Rad, who is like pretty good, and then Mediocre, which is average in this situation, and then we only have 3 that fill the last 2. And even, you know what, Lucas and the Juicy Wizard, I don't really feel strongly about them either way. The only one I actually hate is Killian. He's not even in this show. But there we go, so that's my list. It's been a little while since I actually like listened to Balance the whole way through because I've been really trying to finish Graduation, and I kept up with Graduation like for a long time, but I kind of dropped off in the last sort of 10 episodes or so, and now I can't really remember anything that happened in the middle. But I really like the Adventure Zone, if that's not obvious. I think that Griffin and Travis, Justin and Clint do a really good job, not only like creating a fun dynamic, but like making really likable characters. I would say the Balance is my favorite for this. I don't quite think they ever captured the like magic of the characters in their other ones, but they still have a lot of really good interesting characters in the new ones, and I'm sure that they will continue to do that. But Balance is my favorite. I have a lot of emotional attachment to a lot of the Balance characters, which is a bit embarrassing, but I'm really excited for Ethersea, and even though they've only just started like building the world, they haven't introduced the characters yet, I'm really hoping that Ethersea is going to be the next big thing and that it will bring just as many great characters as I think Balance did. But yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about TAZ Balance or the characters, and I guess I'll see you next time. Bye!